Good evening. How's it going? Um, we might have a guest tonight. I just sent out the link. I don't know if it's gonna work. Let's see. Okay, that was feedback of me making sure the audio is going. All right, I'm just gonna start on the puzzle. All right, let me see. I got an email. In 10 minutes, I'll be on the computer. Okay, so in 10 minutes, we're gonna have Costas Pentoulis, Greek comic book artist. And at that point, I'm going to learn how to use headphones while broadcasting, and we're going to learn how to invite guests through the YOLO box. So I already invited him, but what I didn't do is I haven't had any guests yet through the YOLO box. So I just realized it's going to need to, I'm going to need to wear headphones or I won't be able to hear him. And I was just testing it, and yeah, it's not easy because there's a little like delay. It's a slight delay, but there is a little delay. Um, I could do the direct to monitor from my own like microphone, but for Costas, I'll need to hear him through the YOLO box, which means there's going to be like a second delay. So I guess I'm going to learn how to speak through, listen through broadcast headphones tonight because I don't have experience with that yet, but I will soon. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna like if YOLO Box is gonna tell me when he shows up. Um, I have it so that he should. Also, YOLO Box updated their software today. Like I turned it on, and I see things are different. Like a lot of stuff is different, so I'm still like learning how it looks. So the fact that I don't know what it used to look like when a guest would join doesn't matter because now it's a new software. But I don't know what it looks like, so I'm just going to try to keep an eye and hope I don't miss that. And in the meanwhile, let's get started here on the puzzle. So I got the instructions there, but I've been photographing the instructions and following them, from my iPad. I got a picture of the instructions on my iPad, and that's how I follow along what's going on in the instructions. So we finished instruction 8, which was through 168 pieces. So now we're going to move on to instruction 9, which, as you can see there, instruction 9, we're going to be adding the seat. I don't know if that's the seat to the truck or the seat to the crane, but we're going to be doing something. Well, I'll tell you. Okay, I was already lost there for a second. The scoreboard interface changed and it went to default, went to the style rather than the. I'm basically all out of sorts with this new interface. It's kind of good that Costas asked me to go on an hour early because I started setting up an hour early, and I ended up only getting online like 40 minutes early because I had to do the install. But basically, it's not even 11 yet, and I'm learning the new interface, and we're up to 9. All right, how many pieces are in 9? There's two C1s, a C2, that's 3 pieces, a C3, that's 4 pieces, and then it's times 2. So we're going to add 8 pieces here. So 176 we're going to be up to when we finish 2. Oh, one nice thing, I guess I could have done this in the past, but I didn't realize, is the monitor. I used to have the monitor show what's on the YOLO box. I should detach a camera to show you what I'm talking about. Maybe I'll detach the iPad. That seems like the simplest thing. So the iPad is where the instructions are, and I'm just going to go out of the instructions for a second so I can pick up the iPad and show you. So the YOLO box has like the interface, but now I have just the output on the monitor, That's like new. Apparently that choice was always there, and I just didn't know how to activate it. But anyway, now I've got that. So I hope you don't mind hearing updates. You know, it's part of my, like, this channel is here to make you fall asleep while I put puzzles together. So I figure whether I'm putting puzzles together or I'm putting a desktop stage together, it's roughly the equivalent, unless you happen to be following along with the puzzle, in which case I'm kind of wasting some of your time. Sorry. If you have your own copy of the puzzle. All right, so I need all 4 of these C1 pieces. I definitely feel better with the monitor showing me the same thing that you're seeing, because I can already see the YOLO box on the YOLO box. What I want is a clear shot of what you guys see, and I now have that. All right, 2 C2s and 2 C3s. Yeah, there you go. So basically, this corner of the C sheet was the seats. So we're gonna snap the seats together. Do we know if Costas is here yet? That would be weird if he was here and I didn't know. I probably should put the headphones on right now. That way I hear him when he shows up. Okay. All right. Now I got the headphones in. Oh my goodness. I turned my head to look at the instructions and the cord went in my mouth. So I have a lot to learn dealing with headphones. Okay. Is the cord on the screen? No. Okay, good. So I got to take the 2 sides of this seat and connect them. No, the 2 sides of the chair and connect them with the seat. That's the plan. All right. Is there a front or back to the seat? I mean, this is the top because it has ink. What I don't know is the curves. I think the curves should head towards the back. I think that makes sense. And then the side, it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters which side it goes on the left and which side goes on the right. So we're just building 2 chairs for instruction 9. Actually, testing this microphone, it's going to sound weird, but it reminded me of, it was sort of I don't know if you'd call it a nightmare, but it used to wake me up when I was a kid. And it was exactly the way this microphone sounds. It's like you start the word and you hear it with your ears, but then you hear it on the microphone, and you have this tendency to want to connect it, which you have to shut out. But when you first do it, it's tough to shut it out. And if you can believe it, that was a recurring nightmare I had as a kid, was exactly that pacing of speaking, which led to some weird thoughts of video game respawns and simulation theory, but then some crazier thoughts of like some sort of programming. I mean, I've seen some paranoid conspiracy videos where they do some feedback loop to someone and they force them to, I don't know what they do, but they have headphones on when they're doing it. So I don't know exactly how it works, but it's definitely a weird feeling. If you haven't tried this yet, do it, just to see how weird it is. All right. I don't think I quite got that right. No, I guess I did. One side is in, one side's out. All right. Let's inspect the other one. So it's 2 chairs, so that's got to be the truck cabin, right? Because if it was the crane cabin, there would only be 1 chair. That's my theory. I guess we'll find out soon enough. So 9 is done. Instruction 9 is done. Let's go to instruction 10. While we also looking out for Costas showing up. Alright, so instruction 10, that's that like exhaust pipe on the top of the... Wait, is it on the top of the truck? I'm just looking at the picture and I don't see it on the top of the truck. The picture here. Like, does anyone see that exhaust pipe? Oh, is that? That's not it. That's something much bigger. I don't know. It's definitely, when you look at the instructions, it looks like an exhaust pipe, but I don't really know. And it's another ×2. So it's C12 and C14 ×2. So that's 4 pieces. So we're up to 180 pieces. Okay. So C12, C14, 2 of each. I just took... We took the chairs from C. What the hell did I do with it? I lost the C board. C board? It sounds like something like not what it is. Alright. For some reason I put it on the bottom. Anyway. 2 C12s and 2 C14s. That is instruction 10. Because it's a ×2. The C16 is like, which is the hood of the truck. I mean, you can see it. It's like, look at the little markings there. You can see that that's the hood of the truck, but we're not up to it yet. So, and then C12 in the instructions, why does that look like a cylinder? That doesn't make sense. There's no cylinder pieces. Anyway, I guess we're gonna find out. Are we? I can't find C12 on the board. You know what? At the end, there was a board with pieces with all different letters. So I have to find that. I'm also going to check my email, see if Costa's having any tech problems. He hasn't mentioned it. So, I'm going to do something. Just give me a second. I'm going to go into the YOLO box and send, like, to myself a link to, not that I'm inviting myself, but in case he didn't get the invitation, there's a button, send link to me. So I'm going to send the link. Alright, let's go back in here. Alright, bear with me. I'm looking for the C12 piece, but I'm also going to send this link. You've been invited. Accept invite. Copy link. I'm emailing Costas. You should have received this link. Hopefully it works. And then I paste the link. Wow, why does that keyboard sound so loud? I gotta do some, like, what's the word? I only want my mic to sound loud, not the keyboard. I guess I just need to get a quiet keyboard. I don't know. Alright. So this is the F board. I know somewhere there's like a mixed board that has pieces from all different letters. Because I don't see C12 here. So I think it's on that like mixed board, if I can find it. That's the F board, H board. No, this is the mixed board. This board has not only H's, it also has C's. And there's more C14s. So I got some C14s here, but there's more of them. Sorry, you were missing. Or were you? No, you weren't. I don't know why I imagined that. All right, C14. Where is C12? This board is labeled spare parts, which makes me think I should go back to the C board and look for C12 again. Anyone else? Oh, this is C12. Okay. So we need to stack like 100 of them. Oh my goodness. They don't show how many. All right. Let's just count them up. I guess you just put as many as you feel like it. So for counting purposes, I counted as 2. But they give you, let's call these 3 extra, and then we'll split these in half if it's an even number. 5, 5, 25. All right, let's put 12 on each side, which means we're going to add 22 to the count here. So what's that, 202? Right, yeah, we're going to add 22. So we're now up to 202. All right, now let's just get to work here. Well, it's going to be a boring work. We're just going to be popping up C12s for a minute. I was looking for, I don't know, I was thinking it was a piece like that looked like in the instruction, but what they're really trying to say is drop like a lot of them. So we're going to do 12 on each side. That's the plan. First I got to get the splinters off of this. All right. Oh, another thing. I was looking through. Let me see if I could find it here. All photos. Hopefully nothing embarrassing there. iCloud has not been updated. Who cares? Where's the instructions? Okay, here it is. If you look at these instructions, there's instructions on the cover. Here's the cover of the book, and there's instructions written on the cover of the book. And one of them is, well, first it says use the sandpaper, and then it says use the wax. So like we knew that, but it doesn't say it inside the book. It just says it generally once at the beginning. But look at this. Use special tool for removing parts. This is the tool. Like we were saying earlier, like where's the tool? Well, there is a tool. We just hadn't read the cover where it told us about it. And the tool is, looks like it says H10 on it. So here it is. Here's the tool. So we're going to start using that right now to punch out all these C12s that we need. It looks like it can do some other stuff. I haven't used this tool before. I'm not familiar with it. This end looks like I can use it to punch pieces out. Let's do that, and then we'll figure out what these other, can be used for. This looks like when there's a tab and you need to like push something on, and these are like small. They're like 3 different sizes. It looks like a cool tool. As we go along, we'll figure out what it's used for, I guess. This is going to be repetitive. Let me grab a question for while I'm punching out 24 of these. If you could go back in time, which day of your life would you want to change? Well, I think we're done with this stack. We've read that question before, so we've gone through three during these 209 episodes. We've gone through 3 packs of cards questions. I have more packs. I'll grab one in a minute, I guess. But for now, I just had something that popped into my own head, so I'll just answer that. I was thinking that maybe Costas would bring it up, and that is, why am I doing puzzle streams instead of comic book streams? Because the first streams I did, like the first few streams I did, were looking at comic books. And then the first time Costas was on, we were looking at Electromagnet, which we worked on together. And I'm still working on Vin Duty. I worked on it a little bit today. That's my current comic. Costas and I are still working on Sharks on the Train. That's going to be finished at some point. All right, so we got 8 of these. We need 12 more for one side and then another 12 for the other side, the C12 pieces. So we're still working on the comic, but
Uh,
I just heard a voice. Is Costas here?
yeah, Tom. Hey, can you hear
Hey,
me?
yeah, I can hear you. Can you go on YouTube and see if you could hear you? Okay, so, okay, you're a blank
Yeah.
screen. Do you have an option to put anything else, like a screenshot of one of your comics or something like that?
Yeah, let me check the settings.
I'll tell you why I say that, because then I could test out um, splitting the screen. So I was in the middle of
Yeah.
answering a question that I asked myself, which was like, am I still making comics? And the answer is yes. But I'm also doing this, but because this is newer, do you notice difference in the show since last time you were on? I'll do
Yeah.
some. Are you looking
The
through the
setting is
screen right
different.
now? So
Oh, you're
I have,
changing the camera. So nice.
right, I have like overhead camera. I have down below camera. I have like instruction book camera. I have overlay with the instructions.
Huh.
I have this regular view, and the microphone
Nice.
should sound better. By the way,
Yeah,
can
it sounds so it's awesome. It looks
can
much more
you
pro.
hear yourself on YouTube?
Let me check. Uh, okay. Use your channel.
By the way, I got one more camera for you. Oh,
Let
you
me,
can't
yeah.
see live. You're seeing the 20-second delay.
I see the. This is a wheel. Wing.
This is a wheel. Yeah.
What you do?
Oh,
You betting?
well, what I do is
Nice.
I'm going to post something in chat right now. I'm going to say in the chat, hi. Now, because I said in the chat, I get to add my name up there. So if you post something in chat, then we'll add your name. And then we could spin. You know what? I got to do this like right-handed. I was doing it left-handed. Let's pretend, post something in chat, but I'm just going to write Costas here. So the idea is if we ever get 12 people on the stream, we're going to start giving out prizes. Like cash money prizes. But for now, it's just for fun. So let's just spin it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody won. So that's how it's been. I think the most names we've had up there is 4. But it's like Russian roulette. We never,
Yeah.
somehow, nobody's won, in all these and look at this. It's in the picture in
It's
picture.
like 5% of luck to win. I think it's
What's
like
that?
for it's like 5 to 10% to win.
Right. Well, if we get
Yeah,
12 people posting in the chat, then it's 100%
somebody will
someone will win.
definitely.
Yeah.
Let
So
me
that's
check
that's
the
what I'm
sound.
hoping. Um, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm marketing this show as you can fall asleep listening to it, so I don't know if that wheel really fits, but it's like something that I'm trying.
That's a nice idea.
Yeah.
I check my voice from the YouTube channel, and yeah, I can hear myself.
Okay, good. I'll tell you what's the only problem. I currently don't have the instructions showing up. Uh, let's see.
I cannot put something
Screen.
on my screen.
Well, I could
Is it
test it
okay if I
even with
leave
the
it like
voice.
that and I have only the voice,
No,
the mic?
it is. It is. I mean, we know that the voice comes through. Well, let me ask this. How did you connect? Like, I sent you the link, and then what happened?
You send me the link, and uh, I went on a screen that asked me to join and write my name, and I
Hmm.
did,
Hmm.
and I'm here. Yeah,
So you did it from a
I push
phone
join
or a
the email.
computer?
I'm on my iMac on my computer.
And it's your computer microphone? That's how you're speaking?
I have my headphones, and my headphones they have a microphone. It's like the ones that they use for
Like a
video
headset.
gaming.
So
I
it's
use
like
that for
plugged into
teaching
the.
cartooning.
All right, I'm going to go into the levels. You won't see what I'm doing, but I want to see
Yeah, yeah.
if I can see your level.
I think I'm louder. Yeah,
You think so? Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can find that here. Um, Mike in, Costas in. So you sound louder?
yeah.
Okay.
I think I sound a little bit louder than you.
Okay, I'm
I
going to try
think.
something. I'm going to try. Uh, I don't want to sound too loud. Um, all right, now listen. Wait, in 20 seconds, you got to listen. You know what's weird? Are you hearing me on your computer before on the YouTube?
I hear you from the YOLO Live website, and I
Hmm.
muted my YouTube so I don't
Hmm.
have that double echo because
Okay.
in the YouTube live it takes
Hmm.
some seconds
It's at
after,
least
you
20
know.
seconds
It's
behind.
echoing.
So
Yeah,
anyway, how about now? Are we the same volume now?
let me check. Uh,
Check one, check one. Now you say something.
I think yeah, we're closer. We're closer.
Yeah, you're
Can
still a
you give
little
me
louder. I
just a
can lower
minute
yours a
to
little
take?
bit.
Yeah,
Let me
great.
see here.
Can you give me just a minute? I want to take something to help me with my headphones. I will be right back. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Check one, check one. Yeah, I'm somehow not hitting the same volume as Costas. All right. How many of these things did I punch out? Two, four, six, eight. That's on the second one. I already got 12 on the first one. They actually, most of these things break on the way out. See that, like, thing in the middle? So we got this tool just in time. It's exactly the width to push that out. Two, four, six, eight, 10. All right, last one. You know what's interesting? It only shows one person, even though has the Costas and I both have the YouTube open. Okay, and now it's not showing the chat. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this YouTube. I also see the instruction is kind of cut off. compared to what I see on the monitor. What I see on YouTube is like tighter trimmed. I have to keep that in mind. All right, I'm gonna start putting these pieces on. So it's definitely a good time to chat about comic books or whatever. Are you there, Costas?
Uh, Give me a minute. Sorry.
Okay.
I was trying to find
Mm-hmm.
a, a spare headphones
Okay. So I
that
got,
will help me
I got something for
with
you.
how I hear you from the computer. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did not
In the
find, but
future, I'm
found
gonna
it.
start saving links so I can pull these up. You see how I have this little like window with the instructions? That's just my iPad. So like I saw a tweet someone made and I want to talk about it, but I don't have it saved. In the future, I'll do that. So anyway, someone made a tweet and it was from a comic book. I forget if it was Marvel or DC, but it was one of the big ones. And they looked at it and they were like, the comment was something like, "So this is the level of art we've been reduced to," and it was a character where it was just basically just an outline. It's almost like how I do the 3D model renderings, but I like completely render them. This was like someone just traced
Yeah,
the outline and then maybe put one more line separating the arm from the torso. It basically was no shading, no rendering, no anything. And the colorist didn't pick them up. I know sometimes an artist will do like very simple pencils and then the inker and the colorist will pick them up. But in this case, it didn't
yeah.
happen. It was just incredibly weak pencils, and the ink were just as weak, and the coloring was flat. And it led to someone posting on Twitter like, "This is the level of art we've been reduced to." And I kind of agreed with them. Although I don't want to force you, and maybe you know, you don't want to be on public record criticizing Marvel and
Oh, I don't
DC.
care.
But well,
I
do you
don't
have
care.
any thoughts on that? What's going on in the industry and the art level lately?
Well, the last 3 to 4 years, the from what I know, uh, the per page rate is getting lower and lower, even in the big two.
Right. Yeah,
And
that's a good point.
it's it's this thing with Marvel. They're always going to have great talents, right? But after they've been bought by a big corporation, there are many people there that they they don't really realize their job. You know, they're
Mm-hmm.
not that good at their job, and they just working on a big corporation that is Disney. They don't work at Marvel. They work at Marvel, but they think that they work in Disney, and they're going to go up the ladder of Disney, so they don't care about it.
Yeah, and there's no
And
pride.
to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to be honest, it's like I think because I've seen some things that sometimes they will just take people and bring them to draw comics that they just hang out with them and their friends. Seriously,
Yeah. That would have never happened in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. I think the
yeah,
90s was some of the best work. I know that that's considered past Comics Prime, but they were people who grew up watching passionate people, and they were super passionate,
yeah,
plus had technology, plus had funding. You know, and I know that it was a little gauche, and they were new at some of the digital work and it was a little overboard, but I'd rather that than what we see today, which looks like people don't give a shit. That's really what it looks like. Like there's no pride in their
Yeah,
work. Like you're gonna do better on
they
Kickstarter with independence.
agreed, but they don't give a shit because they have money from the rooftop. It's like
Mm-hmm.
somebody opens the rooftop and there are money there, and they use gravity to come to them. But back in
Mm-hmm.
the 60s, 50s, if they did not deliver, they were out of business. It's the same thing with every corporation, every company when it becomes established.
Mm-hmm.
Um, People that they don't have a spirit of entrepreneurship, uh, they go there and they work
Mm-hmm.
because it's something very very stable. When you have a big corporation taking care of you under the wings,
Yeah.
uh, yeah,
I also have a bone to pick with the comic fan base. I understand some of it's like automatic. They're subscribed to certain comics and they're never going to stop. And those comics do get better attention from the publishers and they're more quality. But it's not really that. It's not really what they're buying. It's what they're talking about on YouTube. So on my YouTube channel, I've had a channel for like, I don't know, at this point, it's close to 20 years, however long the YouTube's existed. But I've done maybe
yeah,
25 comic videos. So, like, less than two per year. But I don't think any of them are Marvel and DC. I think they're either my own comics or other independent people's comics. Maybe I did one on Watchmen, and I'm not. And it's not that I'm not shy to do independents. I have no interest in doing Marvel and DC because they're so big and they're covered on mainstream, and there's no point for a YouTuber. But then I see these other small YouTubers. They only have 150 views, and they're doing in Marvel and DC just like hundreds of other YouTubers, and I'm thinking like, what are you getting out of this? Why would you
yeah,
not? If you did independence, you could talk to the actual people who made him. You could give an opinion about something other people didn't already see, aren't already familiar with it. Why are the fans covering Marvel and DC? What's wrong with these people?
exactly. They don't realize that they are a part of a microcosm
Mm-hmm.
in the micro small world of independence comic books, and they don't want to realize it and understand who they are. It's the same thing when you have a very small business and the
Mm-hmm.
owner wants to promote it like it's Adidas or a big corporation. It's not like that. When you're small, you're promoting it like you're small. They don't have the authenticity, I think, and they don't realize where they are. I mean, Marvel and DC, they don't care about them. They want
Yeah.
to get streams, but yeah, or get the attention to have a lucky day once, and maybe they will see them and give them something. I don't know,
Oh my
which does
goodness.
not make any sense. Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to
yeah,
me.
because
Yeah.
you can give all that energy to your stuff or to build your community to make independent comic book stronger, as you did with reviewing. But in fact, you review all those comic books back in the days. I
Mm-hmm.
remember the videos, and you make in a way you make connections with those people.
Yeah.
Like it's a part of your ecosystem. If they do the same, you
Mm-hmm.
start winning all together. You getting your ecosystem stronger.
Yeah. You know, one of the first people, I can't remember the guy's name. It was Captain something. And he was like the first person to review
Sorry, I
electromagnet.
want to ask you something.
Yeah.
Sorry for that. If you are doing a track, if this is for taking parts of wood and building houses from wood.
Who's doing that?
The toy that you are creating with
Oh,
paper.
yeah, it's gonna be a truck. You can see a picture.
It yeah,
Mm-hmm.
is the one that takes wood uh, trees, you know, making houses from wood. Is that one?
I don't know.
I see it from the
This is
clip.
a Lithuanian company, and I don't really know
Huh.
their story. I should look into it. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't really know. Um,
really
I'll
good.
look into it. I'll find out.
Yeah,
So anyway, that
sorry.
Captain whoever, he was like the first YouTuber that I sent electromagnet to, and he was the first one to review it.
Uh-huh.
And he deleted the video like 6 months or a year later. But here's the thing: he's one of the people who's credited with starting not exactly Comicsgate because I know that hashtag has been exploited and distorted,
Yeah.
but the basically demanding more from Marvel and DC. He's like one of the people credited with starting that movement. And I sent him Electromagnet a couple of years before he started that. So I feel like at the time I didn't think anything of it, but maybe we infected his brain with some ideas to expect more from the people who want to be
I
leaders,
hope so.
whether it's of industry or politics or religion or anything. Just accept more from anyone who's going to pretend that they're in charge. If you're going to pretend that you're in charge, then you're going to also have to accept the complaints from the people that you're pretending to be in charge of that aren't happy with the job you're doing. And it comes with the territory.
True. And the in what situations you see it more often in your life,
Hmm.
that thing?
What's that?
I mean, in your area, or if you can talk about it.
In what situation? I missed the question. In what
Yeah, yeah.
situation? What?
Not on in what situations? Not only in comic books, you see that
Hmm.
people they are in charge only for the title, you know, and they are incapable of doing the work. They just did the connections and
Oh
they.
yeah, oh yeah.
Uh,
That's rampant everywhere. And it seems like the
yeah,
more important the job, the more infested it is with incompetent people because they it's the people who have a skill at getting the job get the job, not the people who have the skill at doing the job. And you have to hope that they hire the right people if they care about their reputation, but maybe they're just going to hire their friends and it's going to get worse and worse. I don't know. By the way,
yeah.
I switched to your screen for a minute. I'm going to try to split the screen with you, even though I don't know if that even makes sense. All right, let's just do a side by side. So is it going to be me and you on different sides? So let's say my desk view camera
This thing,
and your blank
yeah,
screen.
this thing with the cameras you did, it's crazy, man. You have cameras everywhere.
Oh, I got more on the way. I'm just getting started. Wow. I don't know what I'm doing here. I
John,
tried to
this is a
select the
show.
you and I, but it
Yeah,
didn't work. That was a fail. All right, so this is supposed. Oh no, it did work. There we are. You
yeah,
and I are
the
side by
delay.
side on the screen. The problem is it's
Yeah,
very like reduced. I thought it was gonna like center. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna do another side by side. Um,
yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna do another side by side. I'm probably gonna break the YOLO box at some point, but I want to do one that's like centered, and I think maybe I could do it if I play with this thing. Um, Border thickness. Okay, side. That's it. No, it stretches. I don't want it to stretch. All right, I'm just saying words that mean nothing to you, so I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
try and
understand.
cancel this.
It's racing like the picture.
I tried to set up the side by side, and I want it. You know what I have to do? I probably have to create cropped versions of you and I, and then put those side by side. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to play with that another time. Not now.
yeah,
For
yeah.
now, I'm just gonna go back to regular, ordinary camera views, and you're just gonna be voice only for tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Um. So yeah, I got a bunch of wooden, pieces here, and I'm gonna turn them into a timber truck. That's the plan for tonight.
How many hours did you work on the track?
Today's day 3, so at least 3 hours. Um,
Great.
do you hear a lot of feedback? I wonder if I'm gonna try muting you for a
I don't
second
hear
just to see if
feedback.
it goes away.
Yeah.
How do I do that? Alright, so if I turned you off. Yeah, it was you who had the feedback. There's some feedback or something. I mean, don't worry about it, but there's definitely something
Are
causing
you
that.
good with the sound now?
And there's definitely some feedback, but it is what it is. I don't know how to filter it
Give
out.
me, give me a second. That's the
Mm,
reason why I was trying to find a pair of second
okay.
headphones because I have
Well,
something.
go ahead.
Just a second. I think I can fix it.
Well, my
Just a second.
son
I'm
is going to
coming.
learn how to work all this production stuff. He's already done it a few nights, and anytime he has time, he'll learn more. We're both still learning. This is like I haven't even been using this YOLO box for a week yet. So it's amazing that I'm even having the first guest.
John,
Yeah.
you still learning, and I came here and you have like something like 6 cameras. It's like this is a TV show, right? It's like
Right. It's
keep,
it's not really as many cameras as it looks like. I'm kind of simulating it at some points, but yeah.
yeah.
I
You
mean,
need
this
the
one
logo
camera. Yeah.
of a TV station.
Yeah, I'm going to do a video that shows the generations because the first generation was the single piece of equipment that hold the phone and a light. And then the second generation was that thing as a light, a second light, and then an arm that held my iPad. And then the third generation was the iPad as a mixer and these 3 wireless cameras with a microphone. That setup's now in my gym. And now I'm on the 4th setup, but I wouldn't call it the 4th one yet. I would say that I'm still tinkering with it because there's a couple of things that I haven't integrated yet that I want to. Um, like, for example, I might even have the Roku feed in there. Not that I would repost anyone else's content, but I might flip through screens, make some comments, um, do like
Yeah.
play trailers, maybe, stuff like that. I don't know. And then I also could go on the web and I could play clips and I could comment on them. So I don't think I'm going to get rid of the puzzles, but there might be a lot of other stuff coming in. And then when I'm done, maybe I'll edit a video of just the puzzle. So maybe it takes 10 days to do the puzzle, but I'll go through those videos and take only the puzzle parts and take out all the, playing clips and talking to people and whatever. And there'll be so there'll be the stream and then there'll be a separate video that's just the puzzle.
It's
I got
crazy,
a
man.
lot of
I
ideas.
really like it.
Thank you.
Yeah. You can do shorts. You can do everything. Give me a second. I am here immediately. Yeah. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, it's still got the feedback, but whatever.
Huh.
So, what comics are you working on these days?
Right now, I'm working on two projects,
Hmm.
and I haven't sent new pencils for Sharks on a Train because
Yeah.
I have to have a crazy, crazy, crazy deadline this month.
Okay.
I want to message you about,
Hmm.
um, but your message came sooner.
You
And
mentioned before that page rates are low for Marvel and DC. Do you happen to know what they are? I mean,
they
I'm sure
used
they're
to
different from
be,
person to person, but
yeah, they used to be like 5, 6 years ago, from what I heard and I see on articles. It used to be like minimum uh, like $300.
that's pretty good
Yeah, yeah, it was really good.
if you can do a
But then
page a
I hear
day
that yeah, I
for
hear that
just
it
pencil.
went closer to, yeah, and I hear then that it started going down to the hour level, independent,
Oh my goodness.
like 100, 150. Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah,
actually the high end of the independent. There's people who do pages for $10. There's
yeah.
people do them for $15, $40. I mean, I shouldn't tell you other people's rates, but there are. I mean, you redid.
I know. I'm checking out
Yeah,
everything.
you redid the Michael chapter in Electromagnet. I think the first time that was done, that was like a $10 page guy, and I've seen pictures of that guy at tables and Comic Cons. I don't know how many pages he was doing per day for how many clients. It's insane. Sorry. Yeah,
And
tough business.
sometimes, if you want to get the price when you're starting, when you want to get the price lower, you lower the scale. If you are fast with this with the script, you lower the scale of the page, the size of the page.
Hmm.
Uh, and on the other hand, when you're doing DC and Marvel, you have the when you're doing a splash page of Superman or Spider-Man, the page rate is getting up because you are drawing one of the
Right.
main characters
Oh
on a
yeah,
suit.
like doing
Yeah,
Batman or Spider Man or something like that.
yeah,
Well, that's what's going on. So you have people on Kickstarter who they're making the profit themselves, so they're willing to put in whatever it takes to be competitive. And then you have Marvel and DC and some of these other companies reducing the page rate, but somehow Diamond is putting their stuff in the stores. And the fans are thinking that's the legitimate. Like people learned in like politics and academia and medical advice in the last couple of years. They've learned like not to
yeah.
trust the mainstream. They don't have their best interests, but somehow that news didn't reach the comic book world. Not completely. People are really dug into their favorites, and I mean I could understand it to an extent, but their their favorites are not putting the effort in they did decades ago when comics were worth what streaming is worth now. Um,
Yeah.
you're not going to get the passion there that you would get from an independent, but for some reason the independents can't get in the stores, and therefore the stores are closing. I don't know why. I want to blame Diamond, but I know I don't want to say that. I'm not supposed to mention companies, but they didn't do the industry any help by saying, "Oh, you need a big marketing budget to get in the stores." Well, then you're only going to get comics that are trying to sell movies, trying to sell streaming channels, Amazon that's trying to sell its books and other products, and they're in the stores. I mean, come on. Amazon's got like a dozen
Yeah.
titles in the comic book shop, but We can't get electromagnet in. Come on, ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. It's a monopoly.
Hmm.
It
Yeah,
start to break the monopoly, but it needs time, I
yeah.
think.
Well, most of the world is like that, so I'm not gonna like worry too much. Wow, some complex section coming up here. I don't know
Yeah.
in the instructions. Uh,
What you said about people that they are uh, not in the highest place, but they are working on the lower levels of a corporation, and they are the ones that they are solving everything, and they are working all
yeah,
the time.
right.
And the guys that they are CEOs, they are just good with people, and they don't know exactly what is happening, but they are there without knowing what they're doing actually many
Hmm.
times. And is then you have the entrepreneurship that some of the people that they work on those lower lower uh, not class, and when they're working the problem solvers of the corporations, when
Hmm.
they flee the corporation or they getting fired, they start their own thing, they struggle, and they find the way to be the antagonist when something is getting very boring actually. When you have a
Hmm.
corporation and it start being boring and used to be excited,
Yeah,
I'm thinking
the
about
workers, you mean, or the products?
the products, because the CEOs and the people that they are up there, they don't
Hmm.
care that much about it. It's not like
Yeah,
the old days, right?
right.
So uh, then you have people that they work in those places, uh, go do their own thing, and if they make it, they are the new antagonists. You know, if you are not thirsty for something, you
Yeah,
cannot be good at it.
true.
Because if you are thirsty, you can handle everything, all the pressure, all the no's that you are going to hear, all the difficult things on the
Yeah.
start that are going to happen. But when
Well,
you're going on a corporation to be a CEO
hmm,
and everything is ready and set, you don't have something to worry about
see,
after many, many decades.
that makes me think about something that you can't bring up, which is quotas in hiring. Because if you think
Hmm.
about a sports team trying to win a championship, there's no
Yeah,
quotas. They're trying to get the best guy who can make them win. And when it's a hungry
that's true.
corporation trying to establish itself in the world, it's the same thing. There's no quotas. It's that everybody's trying to do whatever it takes to succeed. But somehow, when the company succeeds, then everyone starts saying, oh, you need to hire this, you need to hire that. And it's not to say that those people aren't qualified or if they couldn't, like, recruited them sooner or whatever. They should have. I mean, in a perfect world. But in the imperfect world we live in, competition is the best arbiter of talent. If you want to hire that person, they must be good. If they can bring you money and they can bring you customers, that's the person you need. And if another person knows that they're there because they fit some sort of like quota requirement, they're not going to work with that same passion. They feel like, well, I'm safe. They need me. I check all the boxes.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that person wouldn't have got hired under any circumstances. I'm saying the motivation would have been different. They would have motivated themselves to be good at their job, not to be good at meeting some sort of quota requirement. I don't know. I'm going really crazy with this speech, probably getting myself in
no,
trouble.
you're right.
But there's something about it.
Ah, yeah, yeah,
And it's like, even these comic books we're talking about, they're like, well, we're doing the title that everybody knows. We're from the company that everybody knows. We don't have to do good work. What do you mean you don't have to do good work? Everyone's got to do good work.
Yeah.
You got to do good work if you're like putting a puzzle together on a live stream. Everybody's got to do good work. Nobody's excused.
It's like when look at history. When you have an empire, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the birth of it, and then you have the fall. I mean, not every emperor is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Good one. That depends because it's a different thing. But yeah, you can compare it the life of a corporation. You can compare it also to the life of a human. Somebody is young, from 20s to 30s, they trying stuff. In 30s to 40s, they are getting good at something. From 40s to 50s, they are making a lot of money, and from 50s and there, they just want to get rest and retired
Mm-hmm.
slowly.
That sounds like the fourth
That's also
turning kind of thing, if you're familiar with that concept. Like the strong
yeah.
men create, no, the hard times create strong men, the strong men
Yeah.
create good times create weak men create hard times. It's something like that.
It, uh,
And it's fourth turning, and it's in that same like 80-year span of a human lifetime. I don't know.
yeah,
Does that
it's
sound
in
like?
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you it's even in nature when you having a tree, a young tree that start, from the ground up. At first, it's going in a very fast and rapid way, but then it stops and goes slowly. When it's been established
Mm-hmm.
and goes to the limits of it. That's why you have to have something new, to rebuild.
Yeah. So, what's your plans
That's
for tonight?
yeah.
You want to have, you want to be on, or you want to, you already got to get to anything else?
For me, right now it's morning. It's 6:30, close to 6:30 in the morning, and here in Greece, and
Mm-hmm.
I will go and make my coffee and start drawing some stuff, do some
Okay.
other work. But I have time.
Actually, I
I don't
have a
have how
question
much time
about
do we have.
Greece.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
actually, this guy's in Turkey. There's this
Yeah.
guy, he has like a fat belly, and he tastes food,
Uh-huh.
and there's a song like, do, yes, 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 no, no. Have you seen this guy? Did I have him on YouTube in Greece?
No, um,
Let me see if I could
no, I
find
don't.
that guy on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do it right now. So let me go to the YouTube screen. Oh, why can't I find it? It's like obviously exists. It's in the small version right now, but I can't find it. So this
Is it?
picture in
Yeah.
picture
Yeah.
is the YouTube is the iPad, but somehow I can't find the full like screen of it. I don't know where it went. See, I'm not perfect. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not perfect at running this yet, but I'm gonna try to find this this guy. It's Dom something like that. I think you have to search, and then this guy's gonna come up, and then I'm probably gonna get a strike for playing someone else's music, so I'll only play it for a second. Here's the guy.
No, I haven't seen him. Don't play the music to not get the strike.
Yeah.
No, I haven't
Okay.
seen him. I don't know it.
Let me play the music, but just for a second. I think I gotta turn you off for a second? I think this guy's on. All right, let's see if we hear the music this time.
Skibidi dop 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 dop, yes yes.
All right, did you hear it?
Yeah.
Is that guy on YouTube in Greece? Have you seen that guy before?
Uh, Never. No.
He's from Turkey, but
Yeah.
it's very popular. Maybe it's not as popular as I think it is, but I've certainly seen it plenty.
It's like a viral thing.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. It's
You
he's
know that we
usually
are enemies
sampling food
with
from
the
restaurants.
Turks. Yeah. And he's doing reviews.
No, he just dances, and people feed him food. If you can call that a dance, you
He
know.
make himself into a cartoon.
Yeah, basically. You know,
Yeah.
I'm always worried about people who their when their comedy is based on like being out of shape. That's like not a good.
Yeah. Influence.
Yeah, yeah, like Chris Farley and John Candy, and a lot of these guys, they died because it's not healthy to be that weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Uh, is it fun? His videos
They're just
as a
15
comedian.
second videos, always that song, always him
He does.
dancing, and always someone feeding him
Nice.
food. I was just curious if it was on where you were. Um,
No, no, no.
I mean, it must at least be on in Turkey if that's where he's from, but maybe not. You know, maybe I'm just like being thinking it's more popular than it is because I saw the video and then I told my kids about it and they've seen it, and then my wife watched it and she thought it was funny. So I don't know. Maybe I just think it's funny and it's really not.
Maybe
Uh,
it went viral in New York area. You know,
maybe.
because sometimes the viral videos they became viral only on some areas.
Well, apparently there's people who like imitate it. They put like they fold up a hoodie and stick it under their shirt, tuck their shirt in, and then they do that dance, like with faking having a belly. Can believe that.
And they want to get food. That's
What's that?
what they do. They want to get food.
Yeah,
That's what they do.
yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. Well, this section of the puzzle, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. It's supposed to be, yeah, I think it's supposed to be inside of these posts. I was like trying to get it underneath, but I think it's inside.
I think what you said before is we talked about it. It's that period of time, in in the Western world. We said that before. We are in a way of a decline, something like that. We will say. But yeah, we are an established comparison to. I will say something that maybe you don't know it. Uh, Greeks, we we are not 100% Western. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we don't feel Western. Um, we've been connected with
Mm-hmm.
Europe, uh, through uh, our history and other exchanges.
Mm-hmm.
But it's I think that cultures, when we are talking about tradition and culture, uh, you can judge it, how close a culture is to another one. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to go back to what you said about the guy through food, through the cuisine.
Yeah.
Okay, so when uh, when I go and eat on an Arab's restaurant or
Mm-hmm.
Armenian food or more Balkan like Slavic food, when I was in Ukraine, the food they have there in Slovakia, it's closer to Greek food, you know.
Yeah.
But when I was in France or Germany, it was not close at all. And the
Mm-hmm.
same thing it's with culture. The closer you are to the food and the flavor, the closer you those two cultures they can be. That's a really weird metric that I was thinking. And also when you go start going deeper on it, it's like also the clothing. You know, back in the days when people they were more traditional. If you see the Greek way, the way that people were dressed in Greece, like 100 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
it's closer to people from Armenia or to people from uh, I don't know, Bulgaria, Albania, and it's much different than Germans or France or British.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's my two metrics. When I see two civilizations and I want to know if recently their culture is very close, I'm seeing
Mm-hmm.
that. For example, with the Italians, we are very close, you know.
There's this expression,
And actually
Greco-Roman.
also, yeah, and actually from the DNA. Uh, the cuisine, it's not that close. The
Mm-hmm.
flavor it is, but the clothing, what people used to wear 100 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and the structure of the family, Italian
Yeah.
and Greek family, it's very close. It's like yeah. And then another thing, how you use the language. The Italians, they talk loud, you know, they're using their hands.
Right.
We do the same thing. Right? I remember when I was in Europe and I was talking to somebody in Germany, I thought that I was kind of offensive because I was expressing myself
Mm-hmm.
and they looked kind of scared sometimes because they were more quiet, you know.
Yeah.
Some of them, not the others. So yeah, it's those things. Uh, in Greece, we don't feel like we are Westerners.
Yeah.
We don't even feel that we feel more like we are Balkans.
That's
I
probably
don't know if
better
you
off
know.
that way. I
Yeah,
often, not often, maybe recently, the Balkans. Think a lot about it. Like when I see track meet competitions from there, I'm thinking it looks like paradise. I'm sure that they have their issues, but compared to living in the U.S., it looks like a good deal. The Balkan Peninsula.
and the food as I said before. In US, you have a different stability. US, if we compare the people from the US, okay, the citizens of the US, and the people from Europe, the Westerners,
Mm-hmm.
they are also much more different. In New York, that I've been 4 times, the people, the New Yorkers, they they are very close to Athenians, you know,
Yeah,
in the way they're
like City.
talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Anxiety, things that they want to do, everything. Maybe they go faster than that, right? and people that are not from California that they visit Athens, they felt like home because we are more chill because of the sun. We're drinking our coffee. We have that period of time we are chilling, and then we go back to work. But I felt more like home when I was in New York, uh, rather than when I was in France or Germany or in the UK. Like I was having that feeling that I'm completely different, and I will have to try to make friends or you know to start connecting with people. In the US, it was easy peasy. It was like the easiest thing ever. It was like
Hmm.
if I was in Greece.
Okay.
And I said that was the most shocking thing at first when I visited New York and I came back. I was like, yeah. Um, in New York, the people they are very open to talk. Okay, if you say things that it's not on their interest, they leave
Hmm.
kindly. You know, but
Yeah.
to be open to talk, that's a characteristic that we have in Greece for centuries. It's
Hmm.
like in a way tradition to talk to strangers and make friends from strangers, and just be open.
Right.
Yeah, to Europeans of the North, it's something really they have to drink alcohol or something like that, to do it.
Are you have you been to Cyprus much? Are you familiar with Cyprus?
I was in the Greek forces of Cyprus when I was in the army.
I took a
I've been there
like
as a
vacation
soldier.
there. I think it was, I don't know, maybe around a week. It was I don't know why, but we thought it. I've never been to Greece, but it somehow was like what I imagined Greece would be. There was a lot of old structures. There was a lot of olives in the food. I don't know. You tell me how close they are, or not.
Cyprus it's Greece because they are
Yeah.
Greeks, but it's a
Oh, okay.
separate, it's a different country. It's a
Hmm.
different country, but they are Greeks. It's a big situation.
That's right. The road signs
Really,
were in Greece. In
yeah, yeah,
Cyprus, I don't know if it's in the same in Greece. They were driving like in
yeah,
England, like the steering wheel
yeah,
was
yeah.
on like the British side.
With the roundabouts and everything. Yeah, I know.
Greece is like that too.
No, no, no. Only in Cyprus because they
Oh,
had
okay.
the British the British
Mm.
colonialism sort of thing. Like, yeah,
Okay.
that's why. And they are very the people from the Greeks from Cyprus. They are
Hmm.
close to in a way the Greek, right? But they are close to the British mentality.
Right.
On how they have their structure. If you come to Greece, it's not like that. Some things they are, but it's not like that.
Well, I gotta get there. I'm turning
Yeah.
50 in 6 months, and I really haven't been anywhere. I mean, I was been to
Yeah.
Russia, Cyprus, and some places in the U.S., Colorado, California, Florida, that kind of stuff. I was in Canada for like 2 hours. I basically haven't been anywhere. Like I haven't seen any of those Greek ruins, and I need to. I can't just
Yeah.
stop at drive through Canada and stop at truck stop diners. That's not really traveling. Got to go somewhere. Maybe Greece.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Uh, if you like historical, places.
definitely do. By the way, I'm just watching the levels when both of us speak, and they are the same. But I think I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight because I'm already at 78
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah. All right, but thanks a
Nice
lot.
talking to you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Um,
See ya.
good night. going to do a little wrap up here before I sign off. Just to mention that we finished this sheet. Sheet A is completely done. We've got a lot of parts here on the desk, but they're not, as you can see, they're not like together. Like we've got wheel wells, we've got exhaust pipes, we've got stairs, we've got chairs, we've got the cabin to the truck, but none of it's connected together. This is kind of a little different from how other puzzles from like Roker and U-Gears work. It's a little different to have all these like pieces here and have them not together. But I'm sure they're going to come together soon. So this was day 3. Day 4 will be soon enough. Hopefully we'll see you back there. So good night for tonight. See you tomorrow.